The Aztec Empire has long gone but left some mysterious things to be discovered. One such thing is an unearthed gateway to a lost world. As mysterious as it sounds, archaeologists were surprised to see such a secret gateway. But the question is where it leads us to. And the most surprising fact is the gateway was discovered near Templo Mayor, yet another mysterious ruin from the Aztec Empire. So let's dive into the video to know about the gateway and a bit of the history of Templo Mayor. If you enjoy such ancient discoveries, subscribe to our channel to never miss out on more. The Templo Mayor, or Great Temple of Mexico, is a building complex located in the ruins of Tenochtitlan, the Aztec Empire's ancient capital. This archaeological site, located in the heart of Mexico City, was a major place of worship for the ancient inhabitants of the Valley of Mexico. The Franciscan monk Bernardino de Sahagún, one of the most important chroniclers of Aztec history and culture, gave the temple Templo Mayor. After the conquest of Mexico and the overthrow of the Aztec Empire, Spanish settlers founded Mexico City on the ruins of Tenochtitlan. The name of this culture translates to the people of Aztlan because, according to Aztec mythology, the god Huitzilopochtli commanded the people of Aztlan to begin a pilgrimage and establish a new capital on the site where they would find an eagle sitting on a cactus devouring a snake. This location was located on an island in Lake Texcoco. History of Aztec Templo Mayor. The Templo Mayor is located in Mexico City's current historical downtown, which was Tenochtitlan's ceremonial and political center in ancient times. The Aztec Empire's capital was located on Lake Texcoco Island and was linked to various parts of the city by roads. The architectural complex was approximately 1,640 feet per side and included several buildings, the most important of which was a truncated pyramid facing west with a double temple and two 180-foot-high stairways. The Aztec temple's central pyramid was built in stages, resulting in a multi-layered structure. The first stage was built around 1325 with materials such as wood or adobe because there are no traces of it, but the second stage has a stone structure and is known to be from before 1428. 5 additional layers of the last ones were constructed between 1520 and 1521 and are identifiable. The Aztec Empire's capital occupied several islands in Lake Texcoco, with streets laid out at right angles and the grounds of the Templo Mayor occupying a rectangular area of approximately 25 hectares on the main island. Inside, numerous structures were dedicated to god worship, rituals, dignitaries, and educational purposes. The great double truncated pyramid dominated the entire complex. It could be seen from several kilometers outside Tenochtitlan, which at the time occupied an area similar to that of Mexico City's current historic center. The Aztec temple's interior had stone flooring, and the building's walls were covered in mortar and painted in various colors. Temples, human sacrifice sites, schools, civic buildings, temples dedicated to various gods, and the main pyramid adorned with carved reliefs and sculptures. The conqueror Hernan Cortez took over the city in 1519, accompanied by a few hundred Spanish soldiers and a coalition of indigenous warriors from the people subjugated by the Aztecs. 2 years later, he completed the fall of the Aztec Empire. However, Tenochtitlan was left in ruins. The same stones and materials used to build the main temple were used to build the new colonial cities, such as Mexico City's main square, known as the Zocalo, the Metropolitan Cathedral, and other civic buildings. It was in 1521 that Hernan Cortez and his army completed the conquest of the Aztec Empire and destroyed the buildings of the Templo Mayor to use their materials in the construction of the temples and palaces of the capital of New Spain, which was the name given by the conquerors to the new territories under Spanish dominion. Sacrifices of human beings. Tlaloc was regarded as a source of vital rain in an often harsh environment and a destructive force when he sent floods, storms, and droughts. Huitzilopochtli was the supreme Aztec god and was revered as the god of the sun, war, gold, rulers, and rulership. For the Aztecs, the great way to gain favor with these two powerful gods was to honor them with a suitable temple monument and to offer sacrifices regularly to satiate their lusty appetites and to maintain the harmony between gods and humanity. Furthermore, sacrifices were regarded as compensation for the sacrifices made by the gods when they created the world. These offerings could be food, flowers, and precious goods, but they could also be blood, especially at key times in the calendar. Animal sacrifices and non-fatal bloodletting were common practices among the priestly class, but the Aztecs are now famous for their most dramatic and important offering, human sacrifice. A typical sacrifice entailed the victim being stretched across a stone while a priest, having an obsidian knife, ripped out their heart before decapitating and dismembering them. Following that, the corpse was thrown down the pyramid steps to land at the base, with a massive round stone depicting the goddess Coyolxauhqui. Huitzilopochtli similarly treated her in Aztec mythology after leading a rebellion against the great god. Finally, victims' heads were displayed on tzompantli racks at the pyramid's base. Sacrificial victims were the war captives, but children were also sacrificed because their tears were thought to have a favorable connection with the life-giving raindrops from Tlaloc. The priests who carried out this carnage occasionally ate the victim's flesh, with the heart considered the most prized if it hadn't already been burnt and sacrificed to the gods. This symbolic feast was also attended by the Aztec ruler, privileged nobles, and the ones who had captured the victims of war. Excavation and later history. Following the Spanish conquest, the Aztecs used the pyramid as a rallying point and vigorously defended it, and a Christian cross was placed on top of it. It was gradually designed over and disappeared beneath the 19th century CE colonial buildings in downtown Mexico over the centuries. Never forget the site was activated haphazardly in the early 20th century, and then systematically beginning in the late 1970s. The pyramid was later discovered to be a series of pyramids built over a smaller predecessor. The original primitive platform, dated to 1390, was discovered using a stone hieroglyph. Many artifacts, including fine pottery, figurines, jade and mother-of-pearl jewelry, animal skeletons including fish, 2 golden eagles, a crocodile, and a jaguar, and prizes from earlier Mesoamerican civilizations, such as the Olmec mask and another from Teotihuacan, have also been excavated at the site. The 3.5-meter diameter Coyolxauhqui stone from the pyramid base, a charcoal sculpture used to burn the victims' hearts from Tlaloc's shrine, and a 12-ton rectangular monolith depicting the earth goddess Tlaltecutli are 3 of the temple's larger finds. The site is still being excavated today, with discoveries adding to the history of this greatest Aztec monument. And one discovery is about the gateway to a lost world. Discovery of a mysterious gateway. After discovering the remains of a major Aztec temple and a ceremonial ball court in downtown Mexico City, the archaeologists later discovered sealed chambers at an ancient Aztec site in Mexico City that could hold rulers' tombs. A passageway and 2 sealed chambers were discovered beneath one of the ancient Aztec capital's largest temples, raising hopes that excavations will reveal a ruler's tomb beneath the city. The tunnel, only 18 feet wide and 5 foot high, leads 27 feet directly into a circular ceremonial platform at Tenochtitlan's Great Temple or Templo Mayor complex, which overlaps with modern Mexico City. The archaeologists discovered 2 sealed doors at the tunnel's end. According to the Spaniards who wrote about Mexico's conquest, the Aztecs burned their king's remains on the circular structure, leading archaeologist Leonardo Lopez Lujan to speculate that the sealed portals may lead to tombs. The passage is an extension of a tunnel discovered in 2013 after a researcher noticed signs of a continuation. Archaeologists heaved a 3-ton rock away from the tunnel's mouth that year, discovering a large box and a hollow space beneath it. The box contained gold ornaments, stone knives, and eagle and child bones. 2 skulls from children aged 5 to 7 were discovered, and bones from a hand and 2 feet. The knives and the 3 vertebrae discovered with the skulls suggest that they were sacrificed, a common Aztec ritual in which young children were frequently the preferred victims. The discovery of any Aztec ruler's remains would be a historic achievement. What the civilization did after leaders died remains one of the Aztec people's most enduring mysteries. The clues present a compelling case for the tomb's tentative hopes. Eagles, associated with the cremation stone, and the sun god Huitzilopochtli could also represent a leader who desired associations with the deity. And while the Aztecs may have dispersed ashes or refused to bury them, Joyce agreed that the early rulers of Tenochtitlan were a special case for a people who, unlike the Maya, did not have an ancestor cult or necessarily inherited power through family lines. So what do you think of the discovery of a lost world at Templo Mayor of the Aztecs? Let us know in the comments below.